when we talk about South India के साथ में we also see that after Maurya, you see the decline of Mauryas, okay, and with the decline of Mauryas in the north, we see the beginning of the rule of Shungas. After Shungas, we see the rule of Kannavas, okay. This is in the north. If we go towards west, in the west, we see the rule of firstly Indo-Greeks. After Indo-Greeks, we see the coming of Shakas. Along with Shakas, we also see the coming of one more tribe which is known as Pehlavas, and thereafter we see the coming of Kushanas. That's what is the story की तरह समझ लो, ठीक है? Because after Maurya, Maurya was a humongous empire, first pan-India empire, and this pan-India empire was bound to be followed by multiple dynasties. So towards the west, we see Indo-Greek, Shakas, Pehlavas, and then Kushanas. Towards the central heartland, areas like Magad, there we see the first rise of Shungas, and thereafter we see the rise of Kannavas. When it comes to Deccan area, in the Deccan, we see the rise of Satavahanas, okay, and in South India, proper South India, which we are just discussing, here we see the rise of Sangam age, and in Sangam age, we see the rise of Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. These are the three which are going to come in the South India. But the important thing which we have to remember is that during the post-Mauryan period, because this period is post-Mauryan, in the post-Mauryan period, the state system has already developed by the time of Mauryan period, that was already developed. But in case of South India, state system did not develop even during the Sangam age. They remain most of chiefdoms. Yesterday we were discussing about the state. State has four components. The first component is the people itself. Second, it's a territory in which they're going to reside. Third is the government, which is going to have various multiple functions. And finally, through this government, the sovereignty is going to be exercised. So there in South India, we do not see the development of full-fledged state even during the Sangam age. ये चीज आप clear करके रखना. Even though there is a little bit of debate about it, but the common understanding is this: we do not see development of state. However, in Deccan, we do see development of state. Satavahanas, they derived majority of their government institution from the Mauryas itself. So majority of the institution of the Mauryas, they were taken by Satavahanas. Okay. So the first area to see the development of state system, that was the Gangetic heartland, the beginning of the Mahajanpada period, which eventually led to the rise of a whole empire, and that empire becomes the Mauryan Empire. This Mauryan Empire is going to decline. Okay, the major role was played by the Pushyamitra Shunga. The Shungas, Kannavas, they continued. While if we talk towards the west, Indo-Greek, Shakas, Kushanas, these were the tribal people, and they developed their own institutions, and with the period of time they got Indianized. India के institutions को भी उन्होंने follow करना शुरू कर दिया, including the culture or the religion of this area. Okay, but with respect to Deccan, we see rise of Satavahanas. Eventually, Satavahanas are going to increase their footprint. Okay, and the Satavahanas will be responsible for the downfall of Kannavas. Okay, the founder of Satavahana, it was Simuka. Simuka, he was the founder, and he'll be responsible for killing the last king of Kannavas. So Kannavas को kill करेंगे, and thereafter Satavahanas are going to expand. Okay, thereafter the area of North India again eventually will come under the control of Kushans, and finally these Kushans, they will be defeated by Guptas. So Guptas are going to emerge as victorious, and Kushans का जो areas है eventually it will come under the control of Guptas. तो अभी थोड़ी सी स्टोरी सी याद रखना, ठीक है, रफली. अब क्या है, जो स्टोरीज है, they are different from different sources, but this is the most accepted one कि Mauryas are going to decline, the outsiders are going to come, Indo-Greek, Shakas, Kushanas. Deccan, we see rise of Satavahanas. There are large number of stories even with respect to Satavahanas कि कौन से एरिया से इन लोगों ने स्टार्ट किया है. ओके, प्रीवियस स्टोरी यूज टू बी कि भाई कर्नाटका से स्टार्ट किया है, सम से स्टार्ट फ्रॉम तेलंगाना रीजन, सम से स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द महाराष्ट्र रीजन, बट सबसे ज्यादा जो एक्सेप्टेबल है दैट दे स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द तेलंगाना एंड आंध्रा एरिया, and eventually their major capital is shifted to Pathan or the Padishtan, which is in महाराष्ट्र में है वो कैपिटल, ठीक है। तो इनिशियल एरिया हम आज इनको आंध्रा, इसलिए इनको आंध्रा भोजा भी बोलते हैं और आंध्रा किंग, बिकॉज वी सी दे स्टार्टेड देयर करियर फ्रॉम दैट एरिया। तो ये थोड़ा ध्यान रखना कि द स्टेट सिस्टम इन होल ऑफ इंडिया, ओके, it will take some more time for South India to develop a specific state system. Eventually, if we see this Sangam age का जो time period है, it is roughly 3rd century BC all the way up to 3rd century AD. इसको 3rd और 2nd भी कर सकते हो, but clarity के लिए इतना रखते हैं. This in between period of 300 AD to 600 AD, we do not know exactly who was ruling at this point of time in South India, but whoever those, they were given the title of Kalabhras. We do not know exactly कैसा इन लोगों ने system बनाया, etc., etc. Do not know exact story about it. Okay. However, by the end of 600 AD, we see the rise of Pallavas. So the first established state system in case of South India, which can be easily seen, that came with the rise of Pallavas. ये आप ध्यान रखेंगे, because during the Sangam age, all these Cheras, Cholas, Pandyas, all of them, they were more like chiefdom. Chiefdom means not evolved state, means they were lacking. Naturally, people will be there, they will have territory also. However, they're going to be lacking in the governmental function, plus they may not be able to ensure overall sovereignty in their own area. So that's why, because of lack of development of the government functions, lack of exercise of sovereignty, these people of which were belonging to Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas, they were called as chiefdoms. ठीक है, तो इतना आप ठीक से एक बार याद रखेंगे, because whenever we want to discuss about South India, these are the most important things which we have to remember. चलिए एक बार सतवाहनास के बारे में थोड़ा सा रीड कर लेते हैं, and then we'll switch towards the Sangam age. Okay, so they emerged around 1st century BC in the Deccan area. Okay, you can see a lot of area was now under their control. From their earliest capital, it was Amravati. Okay, Amravati was very important capital, and it again became a very major center of even your Buddhism later on. Okay, so Amravati was there. Then later on they came to this area. All right, this area here they had their later capital, and that was Pratishthan. Their ports includes Kalyan as well as Sopara. They were going to have a big conflict, okay, with the people which will eventually be known as Western satraps. They were descending from the Sakas itself. Okay, they were the descendants of Sakas. So उनके साथ इनका बहुत बड़ा conflict होगा eventually. So that's what you have to remember about the Satavahanas. As such, UPSC does not ask much question about Satavahanas because हमारे पास historical record ही कम है. ठीक है, mostly we know about Satavahanas from their coins से हमें पता चलता है. Some literary sources are also there. Even trade, है ना, with respect to Satavahanas, it is mentioned in the foreign text also. Like we have Periplus of Erythraean Sea. This is a text, okay, which is unnamed, and that provide information about the ports of Satavahanas. Satavahanas के बारे में थोड़ी सी information कम ही है. Anyway, they ruled over the parts of Andhra, Maharashtra, Karnataka as well as Madhya Pradesh. From recent archaeological evidence, it is understood that they started to rule in the Telangana area and then moved to Maharashtra to rule in the Godavari basin with Pratishthan or Pathan as their capital. Okay, there's a debate with respect to this. Later they moved eastward to control coastal Andhra also. The work of Pliny, Pliny the Elder, he talks about this. Talks about 30 walled towns which were belonging to the area of Satavahanas. It means urbanization did pick up pace during the rule of Satavahanas. If we take the writings of Pliny on face value, कि भाई जो ये बोल रहा है अगर वो सही है, then eventually we see the rise of urbanization. Large army, cavalry, elephant force in the Andhra country. This is the beginning of Satavahanas. Among the Satavahanas, we had some important kings. Even though Simuka was their founder, but the most important personality among them, it is Gautamiputra Satakarni. Okay, and there is one tradition which you can easily notice, that they use the title of their mother, Gautami Putra, or the son of Gautami. Okay, he was the greatest Satavahana king. He defeated the Shaka ruler and whose name was Nahapada. There is a very unique event which we see in the case of the rivalry of Satavahana along with the Shakas or western satraps. There is a phenomena of counter-struck coins. Okay, what is the meaning of counter-struck coins? So the moment Satavahanas defeated the Shakas, so what these people used to do, their original coins, ना बहुत टाइम लगेगा उनको कास्ट करो. Like suppose if specific their coins, suppose if we just consider they are made of silver, तो उनको पहले आप वापस से कास्टिंग करोगे, है ना, you'll melt them and again you'll create the coins of Satavahana. Shortcut क्या है, अपना stamp लगा दो उनके ऊपर. So such kind of coins where we found the second stamp of the second dynasty, that is known as counter struck coins, and that's a phenomena which is very famous among the dynasties of Satavahanas and Shakas. कुछ शाकास के किंग ने सतवाहना का काउंटर स्ट्रक किया हुआ है, कुछ सतवाहना किंग ने शाकास को काउंटर स्ट्रक किया हुआ है कॉइन, है ना. इतना टाइम नहीं हमारे पास, है ना. इट शोज पॉलिटिकल राइवलरी बट एट द सेम टाइम इट इंश्योर्स दैट देयर इज सम काइंड ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस इन द फिस्कल सिस्टम. कि मान लो कुछ ट्रेडर्स के पास पैसा है, मोदी जी की तरह डिमोनेटाइजेशन तो करेंगे नहीं ना, सब कुछ वापस ले आओ, लाइन में खड़े हो ना, 50 दिन में सब कुछ अच्छा हो जाएगा. दैट इज समथिंग विच वाज not feasible in those times, right? Because centralized governance of that level was never possible. But anyway, they came out with a shortcut कि उनके coins के ऊपर अपनी मोहर लगाओ, अपना strike करो and जाने दो market में. उससे दो फायदे हैं. Number one, people will know a new ruler has come in the area, है ना, कोई नया शेर आ गया है ना. And second, we come to an understanding that people will not lose faith in the monetary system. They will say कि हाँ coins तो अभी भी चल रहा है, हम भी जाके अपना स्ट्राइक करवा लेते हैं, एक टाइम भी तो लगना है, काम खत्म. दैट्स व्हाई इट्स समथिंग व्हिच इज वेरी यूनिक. आप इसको याद रखेंगे कि कभी भी प्रीलिम्स में ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. दीज थिंग्स आर नॉट दैट मच मेंशन्ड इन द एनसीईआरटीज बट सिंस आई हैव रेड अ लॉट अबाउट इट, तो बहुत अच्छा ये एक स्पेसिफिक यूनिक इमेज है. ठीक है. सो हियर हिज मेजर अपोनेंट इट वाज नहापना एंड रीइश्यूड द कॉइन्स ऑफ नहापना विद हिज ओन रॉयल इंसिग्निया, कि अपनी खुद की जो मोहर है, अपनी खुद की जो स्टैंप है, that was used by Gautamiputra Satakarni. An inscription of his mother Gautami Balachari at Nasik mentioned him as the conqueror of Shakas, Pahlavas as well as Yavanas. Yavanas is a word which is used for the foreigners. Greeks के लिए use करते थे हम word Yavanas. He is also said to have performed the prestigious Vedic Ashwamedha sacrifice. Okay, so he has done it. This dynasty was a Brahmana dynasty. It was not a Kshatriya dynasty. He was a Brahmana. They used to take the title of Ek Brahman. हम एक ही ब्राह्मण होता है. ठीक है. So you have to understand the overall Varna system which evolved from the Vedic period, which has given specific duty to every Varna. कि भाई the Brahmanas, they are going to look after learning, they are going to look after sacrifices. Kshatriyas are going to make kingdoms. They will be responsible for the safety of people. But this was not followed in general. This was not followed in general. As we see various dynasties, Mauryas, if we see Mudra Rakshasa, what do they say? They say that the Mauryas, they were from low social origin, कि वो शूद्र लोग थे. Okay? If you see the case of the Satavahanas, again they were Brahmanas, but they were switching their job, they were switching their dharma, they were switching from being religious orientation to the powerful kingmakers or eventually becoming the kings. That's why धर्म शास्त्रास में जो भी मेंशन किया हुआ है और स्मृति लिटरेचर में जो भी मेंशन किया हुआ है, इट इज अगेन प्रेस्क्रिप्टिव इन नेचर. उन्होंने कहा ऐसा होना चाहिए, होता है नहीं होता, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी. दैट्स व्हाई पीपल नेवर फॉलोड इट रिजिडली. ये यस, सोशल मोबिलिटी का भी पार्ट है, बट इन जनरल देखो एक सिंपल सा मुहावरा, जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस. दोज हु हैव द पावर विल डू एनीथिंग. ओके, दे विल नॉट लिसन, दे विल चेंज द ट्रेडिशन. They will change the tradition, and that has happened in India n number of times. Okay, whenever we talk about social mobility, you have to remember one thing. मैं मेरे दिमाग में आया इसलिए बता रहा हूँ. Social mobility was easy for the upper varnas. It was not easy for the lower varnas. कि upper varnas वाले एक दूसरे काम कर सकते हैं, लेकिन lower varnas को ऊपर तक जाना बहुत ज्यादा difficult. Okay, like you see in the contemporary world also, if you go for the intercaste marriages, it's easy among the upper caste, but it's very difficult among the lower caste and the upper caste. So that shows कि mobility हमेशा ज्यादा अगर रही भी है, it is in the upper caste. ठीक है. जैसे कि ये ब्राह्मणास है, but they still took the work of Kshatriyas because of though both of them they are of the हायर वर्ना, है ना. इवन दो ब्राह्मणास अपर वर्ना था एज पर द टेक्स्ट, बट स्टिल दोज हु वांट पावर, है ना, वो थोड़ी देर के लिए वर्ना को साइड में रखो एंड इवेंचुअली बिकम द किंग इटसेल्फ, कि बाद में वापस अपना लेंगे, देख लेंगे क्या होने वाला. बट दैट इज समथिंग यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट इन होल ऑफ एंशिएंट इंडिया इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट society that we believe in, it did not work like that. Those who had the power, those who had the opportunity, वो हमेशा अपने हिसाब से जिंदगी जिएंगे, and that we have seen on multiple times. ये एग्जांपल्स आप इसलिए याद रखेंगे क्योंकि जब भी इस पे क्वेश्चन आता है that do you think that धर्मशास्त्र मॉडल was followed in the entire ancient India? एंशिएंट इंडिया एक अकेली कैटेगरी है जिसमें ना पूरे एंशिएंट इंडिया में क्वेश्चन आते हैं. अकेला सब्जेक्ट आपकी पूरी हिस्ट्री में जहां पे सीधा क्वेश्चन क्या पूछेंगे, व्हाट वाज द स्टेटस ऑफ वुमन इन एंशिएंट इंडिया, कमेंट. टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट वर्ना सिस्टम वाज फॉलोड ड्यूरिंग द एंशिएंट इंडियन सोसाइटी, ओके, अगेन कमेंट. तो आपसे पूछते रहेंगे, हमेशा थीमेटिक क्वेश्चंस बहुत ज्यादा आते हैं इन एंशिएंट इंडिया. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई वी शुड ऑलवेज रिमेंबर सच एग्जांपल्स कि कहां पे क्या चल रहा है और किस लेवल तक उसको फॉलो किया जा रहा है. Then we have other rulers like Vashishtraputra. He was a successor and he expanded the frontiers of Satavahana Empire, and the coins issued by him are found scattered in many parts of South India. It means he may have taken his rule all the way up to South India. Then we have Yagnashri Satakarni. He was another famous ruler who issued coins with ship as a motif. The ship types of coins are very famous of Satavahanas. Okay, and they gave us an understanding that these people may be having a navy. They maybe have a navy, okay, indicating the importance of overseas trade during his reign. Then we have one king known as Hala. He is credited with the writing of Agaha Satasai, which is a poem of roughly 700 love poems written in the Maharashtri Prakrit dialect. It was having various kinds of theme and eventually very much closer to the Sangam poetry, because Sangam poetry में भी एक section प्यार के ऊपर है, दूसरा section warfare के ऊपर है, जिसको बोलते हैं अकम and पुरम. तो अकम जो पार्ट है that is the love poetry. Then this empire declined around 3th century AD and was replaced by the Ishkwakus in the Andhra area, by the Pallavas in the area of lower Andhra and the area of south, and then Kadambas in north Karnataka. ठीक है. And similarly अगर हम सेंटर की बात करें डेक्कन में हम देखेंगे rise of Vakatakas. Vakatakas are going to rise in the central India. Okay, just like Guptas are going to rise in North India, in the Deccan we see the rise of Vakatakas. तो ये जो एक lineage है, chronology है, इसको आप याद रखिए. प्रीलिम्स के अगर आप पिछले 3-4 साल के पेपर देखेंगे ना, एक क्वेश्चन हर बार आता है, which of the following are contemporaries. 3-4 डायनेस्टी दे देंगे, आपको सॉर्ट आउट करना है कौन पहले है, कौन पास में है, कौन अलग है इससे. तो ऐसे क्वेश्चंस में वहां पे बहुत हेल्प मिलती है. तो अगर आपके क्रिस्टल क्लियर है बेसिक्स, प्रॉब्लम आएगी ही नहीं. Now, once we see the beginning of Satavahanas, Indian history को बहुत बड़ा change मिलता है यहाँ से एक. Okay, one of the biggest change in Indian history is the beginning of land grants. Beginning of land grants in India, okay, which is in recorded form. Before that also there may have been some land grants. We do not know exactly कि हुआ है नहीं हुआ. But from here, this inscription, Nanighat inscription, that provides us information, the beginning of land grants. देखो land grants इसलिए important है because initially these land grants were given to Brahmanas when they used to do certain sacrifices for the king. They were also given to temples. Okay, with the period of time, this land grants, they increase and they led to decentralization of polity, and many officials, they were also given land grants. And eventually एक सिस्टम इंडिया में डेवलप होता है जिसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, समंता सिस्टम और द फ्यूडल सिस्टम और फ्यूडलिज्म. This whole system of feudalism in India, it is based upon the concept of land grants. इसलिए एक बहुत important चीज स्टार्ट होती है in Indian history with the coming of Satavahanas. But the Satavahanas land grants, they were mostly religious in nature. Later on, we'll see the rise of secular land grants, and this is going to affect Indian polity among different dynasties, which was bound to have a bearing on Samanta system. तो जो Samanta system बाद में develop होगा under the Guptas, Vakatakas, this whole system starts from the initial land grants which were given by Satavahanas. ठीक है, और maximum number of land grants in Indian history which are in recorded form, they belong to Vakatakas. ये आप याद रखना. This is a dynasty to which we have the maximum number of land grants in recorded form. अब reality तो हमें पता नहीं exactly किसने कितना दिया होगा. They may not have recorded, but those who have recorded, this is the maximum that we have seen among any of the dynasties, Vakatakas. Anyway, so land grants was an important development during this time. The beneficiary, they were mostly Buddhist as well as Brahmins. So ध्यान रखना, किसी एक specific religion को नहीं दिया था. It was given to majority of them. This Nanighat inscription refer to tax exemption given to land granted to Buddhist monks. Very very important. Many land grants they were given various set of exemption. बहुत सारी exemptions मिली इनको. Exemption एक तरीके की नहीं होती, ठीक है? Let me just give you an example so you can understand it in a better manner. That whenever we talk about exemptions, exemptions can be of various kinds. Like tax exemption, number one, you don't have to give any form of tax, है ना? Tax relief आपको मिल गया. Second, you may be given further economic rights, like you can go for mining in that area. You can even collect the cess on trade and commerce. तो ऐसे से बहुत सारे rights दिए जाते थे when you were given land grant. Okay, when we will discuss the Gupta period, वहां पे पूरा elaborate करके इस topic को एक बार समझेंगे. बहुत तरीके के land grants मिलते थे. Then you can be given certain administrative right also. Like the people who are residing in that area, they may come under your control. During the ancient times, there used to be a tradition in which if any army used to come close to any area, तो उसका अपकीप कौन करता था? आसपास के villagers. इससे भी आपको exempt कर देते थे. That no army is going to come in your area, so you don't have to bear any burden. Okay. Then these land grants could also be given some specific set of nature. It means that it may be given only to you, or it may become hereditary, that एक बार आपको दे दिया, आप आगे अपनी generation को दे सकते हो. Then it can also be given. बहुत तरीके के land grants होते थे. एक में ये होता था कि भाई you can take it, you can enjoy only till you're on your next generation. But in some cases it was known as Nivi Dharma. Nivi Dharma means एक बार आपको दे दे, कभी वापस हम ले ही नहीं सकते. So various categories of land grants were given in India. And Vakatakas के inscription में बहुत सारी इन्होंने exemptions दी हुई हैं. एक बार यूपीएससी ने यही क्वेश्चन पूछा था. What are the various exemptions which were given to the people who were given land grants? तो उसको बहुत अच्छे से आप ड्राफ्ट कर सकते हैं. अभी मैंने आपको सिर्फ आपको बेसिक आइडिया दिया है, तो बहुत सारी और भी कैटेगरीज हम बात करेंगे बाद में, ठीक है? जैसे इंक्लूडिंग slaves, है ना? जो slaves होते थे in that area, they also used to be under the control of the people who has been given land grants. तो बहुत सारी privileges आपको मिल सकती हैं. जो भी donor और donee है, on the basis of their relationship, they may get large number of exemptions as well as privileges. Thus, we notice the beginning of priestly group attaining higher status. This is very very important. Previously क्या था? Land owning classes, it used to be the Vaishyas. Vaishyas के पास land रहता था, or mostly there used to be control under the Kshatriyas. But now it is shifting towards priestly groups, and this was bound to have a big impact. These land donation created a group of people who did not cultivate it but owned land. अब ये बहुत बड़ा difference है. Why? Because now in the future the priestly class will not just have the legitimacy of the religion, they will also have the ownership of land. So they become very very dominant. And this led to development of land-based social hierarchy and divisions in the society. That's why it is very very important, even though we know very less about Satavahanas, but they made some major changes in Indian society by giving the system of land grants, which was bound to have a major impact in the coming era. Okay, तो अगर हम बात करें overall, this was for the first time a big state covering a major part of Deccan was established. Several rock cut caves dedicated to Buddha, Sangha, bear evidence that they were situated in the trade routes linking the interior to the coastal parts of Konkan region. So all of us know about Ajanta. Okay, Ajanta, they were the caves which were linked to Satavahanas. Ajanta जो है, which one is older, Ajanta और Ellora? देखी है किसी ने? चलो ठीक है, मौका मिलेगा कभी देखने का. Anyway, Ajanta is older. Ajanta has two phases. जो first phase है, it belongs to Satavahanas. And the second phase, it belongs to Vakatakas. Vakatakas. गुप्तास का कुछ ऐसा रोल नहीं, गुप्ता पीरियड बोलते हैं, बट गुप्तास का डायरेक्ट उसमें कुछ रिलेशनशिप नहीं है. ठीक है. सो अजंता इट बिलोंग्स टू टू फेजेस. फर्स्ट अर्ली टू द और द बीसी एरिया, जिसमें हमारा सबसे पहला पार्ट किसका आता है, सतवाहनास. एंड सेकंड बिलोंग्स टू वाकाटकास एंड सम रोल इट गोज टू राष्ट्रकूटास, है ना, बहुत कम रोल है वहां का. बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट एलोरा, एलोरा का जो डेवलपमेंट है, इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम 6th to 7th century AD एंड दिस इज मोस्टली अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ राष्ट्रकूटास. तो वो हम याद रखना है. ठीक है. प्रीलिम्स में जब भी आर्ट एंड कल्चर की बात होती है, अजंता एलोरा सबसे बेसिक क्वेश्चंस है, आपको पता होना चाहिए. यहाँ भी उन्होंने क्वेश्चन पूछा है, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर कॉन्टेम्पररी. अब अजंता एलोरा कॉन्टेम्पररी है, ठीक है, बट अजंता में एक ओल्डर फेज भी है, ये भी पता होना चाहिए. उन्होंने क्वेश्चन पूछे थे 3-4, उन्होंने स्कल्पचर्स लिखे एंड दे सेड विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज द अर्लीस्ट. आपको पता होना चाहिए. If Ajanta belongs to around 1st century BC, तो you should be aware about it कि हाँ वो पहले की भी है. 2 फेजेस हैं उसके, क्योंकि अजंता पे 2 फेजेस मिलते हैं हमें. पहला फेज हिनयाना का है, ठीक है, where the Buddha was not considered as a god. उनकी डायरेक्ट फोटो नहीं बनाते थे. ओके, बट द लेटर फेज व्हेन इट बिलोंग्स टू महायान, तो वहां पे फिर सारी उनकी पेंटिंग्स बनती है. हाय, अ वेरी गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू. टुडे आई हैव कम अप विद अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट फॉर हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल स्टूडेंट्स. Those of you who are thinking about preparing it for 2025, एक बहुत अच्छा मौका आपके पास उसको अच्छे से लर्न करने का. I am Vikas Selawat. I was able to get the highest score in history optional in 2018, that is 324 marks. I was able to crack into services IRS as well as IPS. So अगर आपको हिस्ट्री ऑप्शनल में अच्छा बनना है, few things are very essential. So this course that we are beginning with, History Optional Foundation Outline Batch, it has more than 150 sessions. In these sessions, the focus will be on concepts जो कि आपके fundamental रहते हैं. Then the focus will be on answer writing. पढ़ तो लिया लेकिन बिना लिखे आउटकम कैसे आएगा? So that's why answer writing will be focus of this. Assignment दिए जाएंगे आपको so that you can eventually become a part of it और उसको practice कर सको time and time again. PYQs का compilation आपको दिया जाएगा and then even doubt resolution sessions are going to happen. If you do this much, okay, the beginning of the foundation is going to become finished and then you can eventually get to the next stage. इस पूरे 150 सेशंस को हमने इस तरीके से डिवाइड किया. 100 सेशंस आर देयर फॉर एंशिएंट, मिडिवल, मॉडर्न एंड वर्ल्ड. जितना भी एनसीईआरटीज है वो सारा क्रक्स आपको इसके अंदर मिल जाएगा. बेसिक जो अपनी आंसर राइटिंग है उसके भी 6 सेशंस होने वाले हैं इसके साथ में. देन more than 30 model answers will be shared with you so that you can understand कि जब आंसर लिखा जाता है तो किस किस पॉइंट्स को हमने प्रायोरिटी देनी है, इंट्रोडक्शन कैसे करना है, कंक्लूजन कैसे करना है. देन कंपाइलेशन तो आपको मिल ही जाएगा ऑफ लास्ट 40 years. सो इफ यू वांट these kinds of eventual help from our side and then become toppers like them, then आपको सिर्फ एक छोटा सा काम करना है and that is you can register on the sheet. The moment you register, you're going to get a call from our team. Our team going to ensure that आपके पास क्या क्या रिक्वायरमेंट आपको चाहिए उसके हिसाब से आपको बात करके आपको डिलीवर कर सके. And that's why you have to register and then the team will help you out. Then eventually academic जो consultant है आपकी पूरी अच्छे से बात समझेंगे so that they can give you a tailor made solution for your requirement. तो ये जो चीज है आपको बिल्कुल free of cost मिल रही है. And if you are going to get eventually part of it, you'll understand क्या teaching methodology कैसी है at Prep Career IAS. And then later on, if you want to become part of the foundation course, then you can become so. Okay. So whatever queries you have, just dial these numbers. आपको सारी queries आपकी resolve कर दी जाएंगी. Any kind of problem you're facing for civil services examination, this is your go-to institute for that purpose. ठीक है? So all the very best, and I'll see you in the coming videos.